I joined the judiciary 2 years ago with one single agenda: to be part of a historic team that was going to transform this arm of government to become the temple of justice, where all Kenyans could run for cover. The truth about what happened last week is this: the JSC never heard me. I never got an opportunity to present my oral presentation. When we went to JSC last week with my lawyer, we raised a few preliminary issues. The first one was on jurisdiction. The second one was on process. The third one was on issue of bias and impartiality. The fourth was the request for a public hearing. And 5, the right to call witnesses. And also, I sought for the personal assurance from the Honorable Chief Justice that there was indeed no war counsel. And 7, we sought an adjournment. It also came as a shock that 2 hours after we left, assuming they would give us time to go to court, I received a resolution by the Judicial Service Commission terminating my services. What was surprising was how quickly they wrote several pages of findings and a ruling in less than 2 hours. They must have had the ruling way in advance. And the ruling must have been prepared way in advance by the War Council. And Kenyans, I beg you to pay attention. At the beginning, many of us, including myself, did not believe that there was a war strategy and a war council. I refused to believe it. And I, in fact, sent a message to the Chief Justice asking him, I hope this is not true. But when I look back now, they have followed the strategy to the letter. They haven't missed a step. That begins to keep us all worried. The judiciary has not lost any money. If the judiciary had lost any money, the first point of contact would have been the Internal Auditor General, who has 6 internal auditors within our offices, and who no payment can be processed without their clearance. And even if we did, within exactly 1 week, we would have questions from the Internal Auditor General. Some of the issues they raised have already been cleared to the satisfaction of the Internal Auditor General. Yeah. When they talk about things like, when you rent buildings, is there a loss? We've paid the rent. In any case, all those buildings were rented through an open tender process by advertisement in all the dailies and have been paid within the market rates advised by the market forces and the set market rates. When all this began, I personally welcomed the probe in the interest of transparency. I personally, long before the Judicial Service Commission did so, I called for the Public Procurement Oversight Authority, the EACC, the Internal Auditor General, the Auditor General, all of them to come in, who are engaged in the process of checking all of us as public servants and who are designated to check financial management and procurement within the judiciary. We asked that they must come in, probe first, and JSC can thereafter take action against me. The JSC was not interested. They proceeded to carry out their own kangaroo investigations. Please note, they are not the experts in financial management. Neither are they experts in public procurement. None of them, in fact, with the exception of Professor Margaret Kobia, have never worked in the public service or ever been accounting officers in the public service. Why did the CJ not call EACC from the very beginning to investigate, thereafter carry investigations against me? I would be happy if this had emanated from those government bodies. But when it's emanating from a biased Judicial Service Commission, and I must say at this stage that not all the members of the JSC are biased. It's just a group of them, and they're the same ones all the time. The judiciary is not the Chief Justice, and the judiciary is not the Judicial Service Commission. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And thank you for your support, guys. Yeah.